Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Asian Drama Central. If you're here, that means you've just finished Netflix's The Frog and have been left with quite a few questions. In today's video, we'll break down that intense finale, explain what really happened to Go Min-sai's character, Seong-a, and explore what the ending truly means. But, of course, a fair warning, there are major spoilers ahead, so proceed with caution. The Frog is a thriller that weaves together two timelines. In the present day, Joo Seong Ha runs a secluded vacation cottage where a mysterious woman, Yoo Seong Ha, appears, shaking his peaceful life. The story also flashes back to the early 2000s, where a similar cottage was run by Koo Sang-joon, whose family faced a tragic event. 20 years later, Police Chief Yoon Bo-min returns to the same station, determined to uncover the truth. Of course, we can't talk about The Frog without mentioning Go Min-sai's performance. She absolutely nailed her role as the enigmatic and menacing Yoo Seong Ha. Her portrayal of a character with layers of trauma and madness drew viewers in, even when the story itself felt unclear. As one fan put it, Go Min-sai was so good playing a menace, and she looked stunning, so I guess that made up for it. It's safe to say that her performance carried much of the show's tension. The cinematography and sound design were often praised for creating an uneasy, almost claustrophobic atmosphere. The use of lighting, shadows, and unsettling sound effects helped turn the ordinary into something sinister. One viewer even compared it to something straight out of a Ghibli movie, except instead of whimsical creatures, we have blood, murder, and dark psychological twists. But what about that ending? The final episodes ramp up the tension between Yoo Seong Ha and the other characters, culminating in a climactic showdown that had viewers at the edge of their seats. Without giving too much away, let's just say that the ending ties up some of the major plot points while leaving a few things intentionally ambiguous. One of the most common reactions was satisfaction. Many viewers were relieved that the show didn't fall apart at the end, unlike other recent dramas. Let's find out what happened. So, let's start with the big question: what happens to Seong-a at the end? Throughout the series, Go Min-sai gives us a haunting portrayal of Seong-a, a character who, from the very first episode, set the dark tone for The Frog. She's cold, calculated, and as we learn later, a psychopath. After killing her stepson Si-hyun in the first episode with little to no remorse, Seong-a's fate seemed inevitable. In the finale, her husband Jae-sik confronts her at the pension house, where she'd return for, of all things, artistic inspiration. That moment when Jae-sik finally pulls the trigger on her, it's heavy, it's emotional, and it's a grim reminder of the havoc she wreaked. Seong-a's death wasn't just justice for her stepson, it was also a final release for Jae-sik, who had been carrying the weight of her actions for too long. Now, why did Seong-a kill Si-hyun in the first place? It's a disturbing question that plagued us throughout the series. The sad truth is that there wasn't any deep, hidden reason. Seong-a simply didn't care about Si-hyun. She saw him as a burden, someone she had no emotional connection with, and in a twisted way, she felt bored by his presence. Seong-a was a psychopath who killed without hesitation, and Si-hyun was just another victim in her path. Another intriguing element of Seong-a's story was her obsession with the motel. Why did she keep returning to this place, especially after what she had done? The answer lies in her twisted sense of inspiration. Seong-a believed that her best paintings came from her time at the motel, and she was desperate to recapture that creative spark. But it wasn't just about the art. She also wanted to test Young-ha, who knew about her crimes but hadn't reported her. In a way, she found twisted pleasure in seeing how far she could push him. While Seong-a's story was gripping, The Frog also gave us another powerful storyline, the Lakeview murder. This tragic event took place years earlier at a different motel and deeply affected everyone involved. Ji-ho's decision to kill the serial killer responsible for destroying his family was a pivotal moment. And even though Detective Bowman knew what Ji-ho had done, she chose to let him walk away. Why? Because, in her eyes, justice had already been served. And this ties into the show's Korean title, In the Woods with No One Around, suggesting that some things are better left in the shadows. Now, let's talk about the ending. The metaphor of the tree falling in the forest perfectly encapsulates the moral dilemmas in The Frog. If no one hears it, did it really happen? For Young-ha, who had struggled with his guilt over not reporting Seong-a, the finale offered him a chance to finally let go of that burden. Similarly, Ji-ho can now move on, knowing that he avenged his family. The frog leaves us with a bittersweet sense of closure. Some secrets have been revealed, while others remain hidden, but for the characters, it's finally time to move on. So, that's a wrap on the ending of The Frog. It was a wild ride full of twists and intense moments. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the finale and if you have any theories about the unanswered questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite Asian dramas and films. Until next time.